We are going to get started a little bit early on tonight's Locked On Rockies postcast, as this game is in the top of the ninth inning. The Colorado Rockies now 3 outs, or I should say 2 outs away, as they record a strikeout here to lead off the top of the ninth inning from what is going to be a pretty convincing victory. As of this moment right now, the Rockies up 16-4 on the Pittsburgh Pirates. So quite the offensive explosion, a Coors Field classic, as some people would like to say, and we'll break it all down right here on your Locked On Rockies postcast. Let's get into it.
You are Locked On Rockies postcast, powered by Mile High Sports, part of Locked On Sports Denver on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
It is your Locked On Rockies postcast. Hope everybody is doing well out there on this Saturday night. And the Rockies now just 1 out away from winning this ball game by a final score of 16-4. Should it hold, I don't foresee the Pittsburgh Pirates putting up a bevy of runs, 12 runs to be exact, to at least force this game to go to the bottom of the ninth inning. So I was like in the middle of putting my notes together, and let's see where I cut it off on the scoring. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, 7-4 is where I was doing all my notes. And then I went outside, took a little walk, a little stroll. And here we are now with a 16-4 ball game on our hands, and a good show, a victory show, it appears is what's going to be here on your Locked On Rockies postcast. So hope everyone is doing well tonight on their Saturday. And as always, folks, this is Locked On Sports, your team every day. And today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 with any winning $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. And let's see, the Rockies, it is a 1-0 count here for Nick Gonzalez, who could be the last member of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Like I said, I was just sitting here and I was like, all right, 7-4, I was feeling pretty good. But once the Rockies went up, what were they even up? 16-4 is obviously great, but let me pull it up here. It's kind of beyond the point, but what I'm trying to say is I reached a point where I was breaking down the play-by-play, and here's how this run was scored, and here's how this part of the game went. And the Rockies just absolutely blew this game out of the water. They've scored now in 6 consecutive innings in the course of this ball game tonight. So it has been a good game for the Rockies. And just looking at the box score here, they score a run in the third, 4 runs in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, 3 in the seventh, and then 6 in the eighth inning. As the game just now going final, scenes from Coors Field on my TV as we break it down right here on your Locked On Rockies postcast. A beautiful diving play. Who is this? Alan Trejo, I believe, at third. A line drive shot that he dives down for and makes a great play to end the game for the Rockies. As we said, that final score now 16-4. As the Rockies, a good bounce-back win after they lose yesterday's game, the opening game of the series. So now an opportunity to salvage this series and escape with a series victory should they manage to win it tomorrow. But let's just dive right on into it, folks, and we'll take a quick preview of what's coming up on tap tomorrow as well before we get out of here. But just an offensive explosion, like I said, for the Rockies today. I think, let's see, let's take a look at the box score here. I think everybody except Adel Amador managed to reach base at some point or another for the Rockies in this game. Why is my box score not wanting to come up? Bear with me, folks. I don't know why. Box score. Sometimes they just like to change it up. All right, I'll let this oh, there it is, box score. Sorry about that. Doing it live. But yeah, so tonight for the Rockies, just a pretty thorough offensive performance across the board. I mean, Charlie Blackmon gets a base hit. He draws a pretty critical walk as well. His batting average up to 266. Ezekiel Tovar tonight with 2 hits of his own. He has an RBI. He continues to stay hot, now batting 294. Ryan McMahon has 2 base hits. And we'll talk about Mr. McMahon because he ended up stealing home at some point in this game, which was just really cool to see. A stand-up steal of home, taking advantage of Yasmani Grandal. When we kind of go play-by-play here, we'll break it down. Yeah, Alan Trejo, who played at the very tail end of the game, didn't even get an at-bat today. But Elevis Montero, he has a hit and an RBI sacrifice fly for him. Nolan Jones draws 3 walks tonight. He has a hit. Jake Cave, 3 hits, 3 RBI tonight. Hunter Goodman, who is the star of the show, falls a triple shy of the cycle. He had a great game. And yeah, everybody except Aniello Piro has a base hit for the Rockies in this game. They finished with 16 hits collectively in this game to go along with the 15 RBI and just really good stuff. They draw 6 walks tonight as well, do the Rockies. So all in all, just a good performance from the offense. After, this might be the first time the Rockies have had tacos in the time that I've been doing this Locked On Rockies postcast. So nice to see just the offense finally show what they're capable of. Now, look, do you expect them to score 16 runs on a consecutive, game in, game out basis? No, absolutely not. But, this is an offense that had, been refined to 1, 2, not a lot of runs per game. Which is not typically the norm for this Rockies club. So nice to see them bounce back tonight and put on the runs, pile up the scores here at 16-4, your final. Colorado improves to 25-45 on the season as Pittsburgh falls to 33-37. But let's take a look at how this game went, and we'll save a majority of the second segment here for Mr. Ty Blach. He was phenomenal tonight for the Rockies on the mound. I know he found himself in some trouble there in the 6th inning, but for the most part, a good start from Ty Blach. But today, the scoring gets going for the Rockies. Let's see here, or in the game in general in the 3rd inning, as Hunter Goodman belts an absolute rocket to center field for a solo home run. That puts the Rockies up 1-0. And like I said, we'll talk a lot about Hunter Goodman tonight because he was absolutely fantastic. And I thought the television broadcast made up a good point because it was not Jacob Stallings behind the plate tonight. It was Hunter Goodman. And a good setup, a good situation, I would say, for Hunter Goodman, being in that catcher spot. They were talking about on the broadcast how, sometimes when you're not used to catching on a day-to-day basis, when you do get kind of thrown into the fire, you can tend to focus a lot on the defensive aspect of your game and maybe just kind of see ball, hit ball when it comes to the offense. But Ty Blach, not known for a lot of velocity, not a super hard catcher to catch. And I think, just set up for success tonight was both Ty Blach on the mound and Hunter Goodman behind the plate. And it was nice to see that translate over in the batter's box as well. So you love to see it. Do you think Goodman, we got a comment here, Zachary, what's going on, my man? Do you think Goodman absolutely breaking out, making the trade Diaz a little bit more palatable? Here's the thing, regardless if Goodman's breaking out or not, I just think the Rockies are going to have to make that trade or really just heavily consider, because here's the thing, how old is Elias Diaz? Let me pull this up real quick. He's got to be 32-ish, somewhere around there. He is, 33 years old. So as much as I love Elias Diaz and the Rockies fans love Elias Diaz, and I'm sure the organization loves him as well, great clubhouse guy. At the end of the day, he just doesn't have a role in the future of this organization. And if you've listened to the Locked On Rockies postcast before, I've talked about Ezequiel Tovar time and time again. Guys like Nolan Jones and Brenton Doyle, who are 26, Eleris Montero, Aniello Piro, right? The Rockies' time to contend for the playoffs is going to be in a year or two. And at that point, Elias Diaz is going to continue to get older and older and older. So I do think that if Hunter Goodman is playing better, and look, he was fantastic tonight, if there's some consistency on that front, it probably makes that pill a little bit easier to swallow. But I would go as far to say that I just think the Rockies have to trade trade Diaz one way or another, regardless of the production they're getting from guys like Jacob Stallings and Hunter Goodman, just because he's going to be their most valuable trade chip. And look, Ryan McMahon's another guy they could probably float out there for a trade chip as well, but I think there's probably a little bit more emotional attachment. Diaz, to me, just seems like the guy that you're going to want to move on at the trade deadline. If you're being smart, like I said, he's a great player, great for this organization, but this is a team that's building for another day. So we'll see what happens there on that front. But what's going on, Zach, man? Hope you're doing well tonight. Good win for the boys, huh? It's a good way to, get the Saturday night rolling here, 10 o'clock, good time, pop on out, get some food, maybe some bevies, get some drinks with the friends, whatever it might be, hop on the Xbox if that's your thing as well. But a good night when the Rockies win. So you'll love to see that. But yeah, as we said, Hunter Goodman gets the scoring started tonight for the Rockies. The Pirates evened it up in the 4th inning with the Nick Gonzalez solo shot as well. And then the Rockies really start pouring it on in the 4th inning. Eleris Montero with a 1-out double in the 4th inning. As we said, Nolan Jones pops out. Michael Toglia then draws that walk. And then you've got 2 on with 2 out. Jake Cave rips a double to left field. That scores 2 runs to put the Rockies up 3-1. And nice to see Jake Cave have a good game today. There was a scary situation with him before the game. Apparently, from what I was seeing on social media, he took a ball off I don't know if it was off his helmet or, just off his head, but, was unable to play in last night's game, but right back in the lineup tonight for the Rockies, and he delivers in a big way, putting the Rockies up 3-1 there. And then Hunter Goodman, who we just talked about as well. Like I said, we're going to talk about him a lot tonight. He rips a double to left field. Jake Cave scores. Rockies go up 4-1. And that ball that he hit for a double, Goodman, that ball was this close to being his second home run of the game. It just nips the top of the wall, but it is an RBI double nonetheless. So that was good stuff from Hunter Goodman, and the Rockies get out to a 4-1 lead. Eleris Montero adds a sacrifice fly in the fifth. Charlie Blackmon was able to score after the leadoff walk. He was a sacrifice. He scored on the sacrifice fly. And then McMahon advances to third after he gets on base via a double. And then a little bit of small ball here. Yasmani Grandal, the veteran catcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates, caught snoozing a little bit, just taking his time, throwing the ball back to the pitcher. Ryan McMahon picks up on that, standing over there on third base. And he ends up stealing home standing up, which was absolutely fantastic. So that was fun to see for the Rockies in this game as well. A little bit of small ball. And then the Pirates come right back in the sixth inning. Nick Gonzalez with a one-out single to right field. Connor Joe then gets hit by a pitch. Cabrian Hayes strikes out, but then Edward Olivares walks, and then Yasmani Grandal ends up getting a run home for Pittsburgh. He hits a ground ball up the middle that Amador is able to stop, but unable to get the out at first base, and that scores a run here for the Pittsburgh Pirates, which at that point in the game made it 6-2. So that's where we were at in the sixth inning, believe it or not. We end up with a final score of 16-4 at some point or another in this game, as the Rockies offense just explodes for 9 runs in the seventh and the eighth innings. So I think this is a good time to take a quick break. When we come back, let's dive into those seventh and eighth innings, take a look at what went right for the Rockies as we continue along. And then we'll also hone in on starting pitcher Ty Blockstart. I thought he was phenomenal tonight for the Rockies. Stick with us. We'll continue right here on your Locked On Rockies postcast, back in just a few minutes. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends over at FanDuel real quick. And it's winner take all time in the NBA and the NHL. And FanDuel is giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and more. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make every playoff shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And again, be sure to sign up with our friends over at FanDuel at FanDuel.com/lockedon. And all new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. So be sure to get involved with our friends over at FanDuel, guys. And it is a great time to get involved with our friends at FanDuel, because we have the U.S. Open going on in the golf world. You've got the Euro Cup going on in the soccer world. Of course, Major League Baseball still rolling on. The Stanley Cup Final, the NBA Finals coming to a close, but there's still an opportunity to get some money down on those sporting events as well. And get them all down. Get all your money down with our friends over at FanDuel, guys. FanDuel.com/lockedon is your place to go. America's #1 sportsbook. Be sure to check out our friends over at FanDuel. All right, welcome on back into your Locked On Rockies postcast. I'm your host, Aniello Piro. Hope everybody is doing well out there as the Rockies take down the Pittsburgh Pirates by a final score of 16-4. And as we're breaking down this game, where I left off at the end of the first segment is I believe we had a score of 6-2, and that was in the sixth inning. And somehow we got to figure out a way as how this game got to 16-4 of a final score here. So let's continue along with our breakdown. The Rockies add some more runs in the seventh inning, add their seventh runs in the bottom of the sixth inning. Hunter Goodman with a one-out single. Charlie Blackmon then rips a two-out single as well. Ezekiel Tovar, who continues to stay hot, he has an RBI single himself. Goodman scores. Rockies then go up 7-2. And then this is where the game gets a little bit close, because the Pittsburgh Pirates respond in the following inning. Andrew McCutchen hits a solo home run in the seventh, and he's been so good. It's nice to see, a veteran guy in Andrew McCutchen who's still able to do the darn thing. And I know he's only hitting 240, but I just get a little bit of nostalgia whenever I watch a guy like Andrew McCutchen, just because there's not many of that old guard type of player left. And nice to see him, playing for his original franchise. So, and I think we could, be happy with Andrew McCutchen, because the Rockies did win this game 16-4 when it's all said and done. So you love to see that. But here we are after the McCutchen solo shot, we find ourselves with a score of 7-3. So the gap narrowing a little bit. And then Pittsburgh manages to get another run in the top of the 7th inning with a Nick Gonzalez ground out to Ezequiel Tovar. But it was kind of deep into the position. So the runner on third scores, and the Pittsburgh Pirates were able to cut this game to 7-4. Now we pause because everything we're about to say after this is just all Rockies. Everything coming up aces for the Rockies because they end up winning this game, as we've said multiple times now, 16-4. So here we are at the top of the 7th inning with a score of 7-4. And the Rockies pile on 9 runs from this point forward. So before we talk about how the Rockies pile on those runs, though, let's give some love to starting pitcher Ty Blach, because I thought he was great tonight. Super efficient on the mound for the Rockies. He finishes with 5 2/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. He gives up 1 home run as well over the course of his start today. But for the most part, Ty Blach's been pretty darn good for this team. And we've talked about this. It's been the bullpen, I would say, more often than not for the Rockies in the pitching department that struggled this year. But Ty Blach, unable to finish the 6 strong innings, but he does go 5 2/3, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts tonight. But all in all, a pretty positive performance from Mr. Blach on the mound. The bullpen does their job. Garrett Hartlib comes in, inning in a third, gives him 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 1 strikeout as well. Jordan Beeks does his job with an inning clean, and then Molina comes in with an inning clean as well. So for the Rockies tonight, the pitching staff was pretty good. But like I said, before we talk about how these 9 runs are scored, I see Buddy Black is on my screen right now talking about this game. I'm sure he's happy about the performance tonight from both the pitching staff and the lineup. But we had to make sure to show some love to the pitching staff tonight because it's going to be a lot of offense. And here's the thing, Pittsburgh just inefficient on their own right with trying to generate some offense tonight. They had 11 hits in this game and only able to muster up 4 runs out of those 11 hits. So, when I look at that, I think, some timely pitching, some good sequencing from the Rockies pitching staff tonight. But, also just the offense not making it easy, not allowing Pittsburgh the opportunity to easily get back into this game. So I think that's a good thing to keep an eye on here for the Rockies as we move forward. And I know they were phenomenal with runners in scoring position was the Rockies offense. Let's see. Yeah, 6 for 11 with runners in scoring position tonight. And like I said, just big hit after big hit, whether it was Jake Cave delivering some RBI, Elrys Montero with a sacrifice fly, Ezequiel Tovar doing his thing, and obviously Hunter Goodman, who in my opinion was the star of the show tonight, just doing some really good stuff. So let's pick up where we left off. We were at 7-4 at the top of the 7th inning. And then who we just mentioned, Jake Cave. And like I said, nice to see him back in the lineup after that scare yesterday. He rips a single to center field, able to score Nolan Jones, who had 3 walks tonight. I believe Nolan Jones has now had 5 walks in his 2 games back since coming off the IL. So, maybe not the offensive output or production that you're looking for, but at least he's seeing the ball into the zone well, because 5 walks in 2 games is no joke, with another 3 tonight. And obviously a critical component of this game as the Rockies make it 8-4 with that Jake Cave RBI single. And then this is where it gets fun. Hunter Goodman hits another home run. Could have been his 3rd home run of the game. Remember that double that he had earlier in the game was nearly a home run. But he hits that to center field. That puts the Rockies up 10-4. They just, at this point in the game, they just ran and didn't look back. It felt like Pittsburgh, had some opportunities, wasn't able to convert. But once the Rockies got to the bottom of the 7th inning, they made sure to put this game away, put this game to sleep. And between the Jake Cave RBI single and the Hunter Goodman home run that puts the Rockies up 10-4, they started to do that there in the 7th inning. And then they exploded, as we said, in the 8th inning for 6 runs. This game was they were already up 6 runs in this game by the time we got to the 8th inning. And then they just absolutely pile them on there. So just one of those games, man. This, like I said, it's a Coors Field Classic. This is just how it goes sometimes at Coors. And we know that, whether this isn't Nolan Arenado and Trevor Story and young Charlie Blackmon and TJ LeMahieu. Okay, I get it. But this Rockies offense in their home ballpark is still going to figure out ways to generate significant amounts of runs on a semi-regular basis. And we saw that here tonight. And, you just absolutely love to see it for the Rockies because, like I said, their offense, it felt like had been reeling a little bit, needed one of these games, I think, to remind themselves just of what they're capable of, as we move forward throughout this season for the Rockies. So we get to the bottom of the 8th inning and how they score here. Ryan McMahon, his 15th double of the year, to right field. He scores 2 runs. That puts the Rockies up 11, or excuse me, that scores a run. That puts the Rockies up 11-4. And then Michael Toglia. I mean, this game had everything. We had someone stealing home, and then Michael Toglia, who's been pretty good for the Rockies over the last 10 days or so. He hits a grand slam to left field. Oh, man, the ballpark must have been electric tonight. I was not there, unfortunately, but I'm sure that, like I saw on TV, we had a great crowd. But when that Toglia grand slam, and you already know you're going to win the game, but when he belts that thing, that puts the Rockies up 15-4, and then the final out of the game. Who else? Hunter Goodman generating the final run for the game for the Rockies here. He hits a ground out to second baseman Nick Gonzalez, but Jake Cave is able to score from third base on that one, and that's how we get to our final score of 16-4 as the Rockies win this game and improve to 25-45 on the season. So you love to see it, as just about everybody except Adele Amador, who had an opportunity to hit for the Rockies tonight, comes through in some form or another, whether it's via the walk, whether it's via the base hit, the sacrifice fly. Just about everybody contributed in some way or another for this Rockies team in this victory. So good stuff. And, hopefully it's the old saying, and I know it's kind of tongue in cheek, but hopefully they save some runs for tomorrow, because you want to try to win this series. This is the first series of a 10-game homestand, and I'll kind of dive into some details about that when we come back on the other side here. But this is an opportunity for the Rockies to really put their best foot forward against a middling sub-500 team in the Pittsburgh Pirates. Remember, this is a Rockies club who, believe it or not, their record against sub-500 teams this year is absolutely disastrous. So if you can figure out a way to win tomorrow, carry over this momentum from tonight's game, you'll set yourself up well moving forward throughout the rest of this homestand. So you love to see it as the Rockies win tonight, 16-4. But all right, let's hit a quick break. When we come back, we'll put a bow on the show. We'll give our 3 strikes before we get out of here, and do a quick look ahead to tomorrow's game as the Rockies look to win the series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Stick with us, folks. All right, real quick, let me tell you about our friends over at Stitch Fix, because that instant confidence boost that you get from an outfit that makes you look really good, and I mean really good. That's what I get with my friends over at Stitch Fix. Easily upgrade your wardrobe this year with a professional stylist that helps you find new on-trend favorites that work well for you. I just give my stylist my size, my style, and my budget preferences. I order boxes when I want and how I want. No subscriptions required. And they send me five just for me pieces, plus outfit recommendations and pro styling advice. I keep what works and send back the rest. My stylist always sends just the right pieces, and the fit is always on point. It's like they have a degree in this stuff, guys. I don't know how they do it, but they just get me. Stitch Fix makes it all so easy. I don't like to shop, and they save me that time and effort. Plus, I get the outfits that make me look good and feel really good too. And if you don't love something, just send it back. Shipping, returns, and exchanges are always free. Style that makes you feel as good as you look. Now is the best time to get started at stitchfix.com/MLB and get $100 off. That's $25 off your first 4 fixes for a limited time only. That's stitchfix.com/MLB for $100 off. Stitchfix.com/MLB. Must redeem within 7 days of sign up. Offer does not include kids fixes. All right, welcome on back into your Locked On Rockies postcast as we get ready to put a bow on the show and get you guys on your way on this Saturday night. But a good win for the Rockies, 16-4. We'll see what they have in store for us moving forward to tomorrow. And it's going to be a spot start for the Pittsburgh Pirates, it appears, but it'll be Dakota Hudson on the mound for the Rockies. He's 2-8 with a 4.87 earned run average and 36 strikeouts this year for the Rockies. And he had a pretty good start his last time out. He went 6 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned run, and 2 walks as well. So we'll see what Dakota Hudson has in store. But like we said, the Rockies starting pitching has actually been pretty good in recent times. So if they can keep doing that and putting their best foot forward, they're going to give themselves an opportunity to win this ball game. Also, I apologize for if I'm sniffling a little bit. My allergies have been killing me today. So that's why I was not at the ballpark. We'll be there for the Dodgers series and have some fun with that. But it'll be Dakota Hudson on the mound for those Rockies tomorrow. And here's my big closing thought. I teased it in the last segment. This is a 10-game homestand for the Rockies. You got 3 against the Pirates and then 4 against the Dodgers, and I believe it's the Washington Nationals that come into town. Winning this game tomorrow really sets the Rockies up for success moving forward on this homestand. We know it's the Dodgers. We know how tough they are. But if they can split that series, having this series victory in their back pocket, you're going to feel pretty good going into these final couple games at home at Coors Field after that egregiously long road trip. So I think it's important for the Rockies tomorrow to try to carry over this momentum offensively. You've got the lineup, you've got the momentum with your pitching staff. The bullpen's been better for the most part. So I just think a win in tomorrow's ball game would do a lot for the strength of this team moving forward and the momentum of this team moving forward throughout the course of this homestand and just kind of building that confidence, right? Because now you've got Nolan Jones back in the lineup. Ryan McMahon appears to have, snapped out of his slump. You kind of understand what's happening with the catcher situation. Ezekiel Tovar stays hot. Toglia is trying to earn his keep. So there's a lot of moving parts. Jake Cave's okay, right? So I just look at this Rockies club and it's a very winnable game tomorrow at home against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So let's see them go out there, put their best foot forward, and do just that and try to build some momentum leading up to this series against the Dodgers. Because the last thing you want to do is lose this game to Pittsburgh tomorrow, lose that series 2-1, and then you find yourself, staring down one win, hopefully in 4 against the Dodgers. Then you're just, kind of just not in a good spot, not feeling good about what you're doing and everything that comes with it. So that's what I think is at stake for the Rockies tomorrow, is the opportunity to continue to breed some confidence and build some momentum as you move forward on this 10-game homestand. And again, just a very winnable situation, a very winnable matchup against a Pittsburgh Pirates team that is just 33-37 on the year. So we'll see what happens in that one. And once again, your starting pitcher for tomorrow will be Dakota Hudson. So it should be a good one for the Rockies. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure to subscribe. Be sure to follow me on social media as well as we continue to cover this Colorado Rockies team right here on your Locked On Rockies postcast. Hunter Goodman, the story of the game tonight. He was absolutely phenomenal for the Colorado Rockies. 1 triple shy of the cycle, but he delivers with 5 RBI tonight on 4 hits, scores 3 runs, and he's hitting 203 on the year now. So good stuff from Hunter Goodman and good stuff from the Rockies overall as they win this game tonight by a final score of 16-4. So once again, follow me on social media at Media by AP. Make sure to smash that subscribe button as we're going to be covering just about each and every Colorado Rockies game the rest of the way right here on the Locked On Rockies postcast on the Locked On Denver Sports YouTube channel. So appreciate you guys. Good stuff from the Colorado Rockies tonight. We'll see what they have in store against the Pittsburgh Pirates tomorrow in the series finale, and we'll talk to you after the game tomorrow.